Hey there, this is Danha. Fun fact, Danha means Songhom, a body of water known for bringing vitality to the Red River Delta in Hanoi. Coincidentally, I've lived in this city almost my entire life. As you can tell, I am as Hanoian as they can get, or so I thought. My story begins with the start of summer vacation. My cousin hosts this Airbnb experience where she would introduce tourists to the most quintessential delights Hanoi's Old Quarter has to offer. Business was booming, and she needed my help standing in as a part-time guide. The job is simple, pays well, and I get to eat for absolutely free. So naturally, I grabbed my pen and paper and started drafting my first tour route, which got me wondering, what are the stories behind mi bún and pho? Why does the Vietnamese bánh mì look and taste the way it does? Do Hanoian follow certain eating styles? Admittedly, I knew next to nothing about my city. Luckily, there was someone I could turn to for help, my dad. He is a Truan born and raised Hanoian and also self-proclaimed expert in Vietnamese history. 2 weeks before I led my first tour ever, he gave me several crash courses on the history and identity of Hanoi's Old Quarter. When Hanoi, formerly known as Thăng Long, was declared the new capital of Vietnam, it was an ideal location to expand trade. Residents from nearby provinces brought their hometown specialties. People who sold similar products were also likely to be from the same town, and thus they banded together, forming distinct bubbles of commerce dedicated to certain trades. That is how we have places like Hang Luoc, the destination to purchase all kinds of combs and hair accessories, or Hang Buom, which sold everything needed to set sail, so on and so forth. Of course, those names only became official after the French came in the 19th century, forming what is now known today as the Old Quarter. Bánh mì was also something that the French quote-unquote brought to Vietnam. French officials missed the taste of home and ordered their Vietnamese chefs to replicate their most signature dishes. Then comes bánh mì, a shorter and fuller version of the baguette, and not to mention pâté, animal liver paste. My dad's favorite story to tell was of bún, otherwise known as vermicelli. In order to make vermicelli, rice is grinded up and mixed with water to form a dough. That dough would be left in room temperature to be fermented, pushed through a filter with tiny holes, dropped into a boiling pot of water, forming long and thin strands of vermicelli. There used to be only 2 dishes with bún as the main starch: bún riêu cua, vermicelli soup and crab tomeli, and bún cha, vermicelli with grilled pork. Eating bún is rather cooling, perfect for Hanoian to combat the hot and humid weather that we have here this summer. There are so many more things I have seen, learned, and experienced about the Old Quarter that simply cannot fit into 5 mere minutes, nor is it good for business, but an important revelation did cross my mind. I thought Hanoians were busy creatures. The streets, as you can tell, is always in a state of chaos. Vehicles accelerate and switch lanes whenever they could. Pedestrians cut across the road like it's everybody else's and not their business. But Hanoians always find little pockets of time before work, in between work, after work, at night to live slowly. Once a Hanoian has sat down to enjoy a bowl of pho or bún, they slowly savor all elements of their meals. They pick apart the herbs for garnish. They taste the variety of toppings on their noodle dishes like they have all the time in the world. And that is how we are. This is exactly why I think history, especially national or regional history, is vital. In just 2 weeks of studying and in some way experiencing how history shaped Hanoi's Old Quarters, I have developed a much more meaningful bond with my identity as well as place of birth. I kind of find it strange that history taught in high school classrooms, for the most part, fail to invoke such an emotional connection. If high school history was taught in a more interactive way, allowing room for students to see their sense of self be connected to their country's or region's history, certainly the subject would become more robust. Though this phrase is often overused, in the context of globalization, teaching history effectively and innovatively is crucial to help younger generations understand their national identity. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I am looking forward to having a great time eating great food this summer. Thank you for listening to this podcast episode. Once again, I am Danha, signing